I feel like Anderson Silva was a little too... He was over-analyzing the situation instead of being the aggressor. And he's always been like that. He's kind of like... It's not like a blatant show-off, but it's like where he's kind of filling you out. And he's not necessarily trying to strike. He's just trying to get in your head. And I think that it worked against him because in the earlier rounds, he clearly had lost because he wasn't throwing a lot of punches. And even though Jake Paul wasn't landing a lot of the punches he was throwing or had significant strikes, it was the fact that Silva wasn't landing any that really messed him up. So in the later rounds, he got aggressive. Now, one might say, dude, Anderson Silva was probably doing that because he's 47 years old and he was trying to retain his stamina for the later rounds. You can argue that's a good point. But my thing is, they were going back and forth, and it was a really good balanced fight until the very end when Jake Paul was able to connect that overhand right. The overhand right wasn't as traumatic as his one was on Tyron Woodley. So, like, that's the only reason that Silva was able to get up. Didn't do this. Jake Paul didn't do that. I don't care what you say. He just got someone who has the reigning longest win streak in the UFC. He had a win streak for over 2,000 days. Had recently beat the former world boxing champion Julio, what his name, Cesar Chavez Jr. or something like that. He beat him 8 rounds to 0. So he's not just like some old, hag. He's literally still productive. He's still in the gym. He's training. And, he lost to Jake Paul. So you guys got to put respect on Jake Paul's name. I don't really see YouTubers like KSI getting in the ring with him now. He's in a whole other league. At this point, he's got to fight professionals because these YouTubers, one thing about it is you can play FIFA, KSI. You can play a lot of things, but what you can't play is boxing. So shout out to Jake Paul. I really feel like it hurt me on a personal level because I grew up hearing about Anderson Silva. I grew up with Anderson Silva. So just like seeing, him go out like that, I'm just glad it wasn't a knockout, but at the end of the day, man, I really thought Silva was going to win that. Shout out to Jake Paul, though. I support Jake Paul and everything that he's trying to do for fighters, and he's a huge inspiration to the youth. You see, a lot of people might say, bro, who even pays attention to Jake Paul? You guys try to make it seem like you don't pay attention to Jake Paul just because he's winning. The moment he loses, all of you guys would tune in like it's Friday Night SmackDown. I support Jake Paul. I support winners, just like I support Floyd Mayweather, 50-0. A lot of people don't give that man his credit, but they run around giving Canelo credit like he ain't never lost a fight. Mayweather's 50-0. We got to pay respects to our real superheroes. You guys love going to Marvel and DC and saying this and that. We got real superheroes, 50-0. You guys love Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was amazing. Mayweather was 50-0. Jake Paul is 6-0. So, man, what I will say is shout out to Jake Paul. He did what he was supposed to do. Like I said, it wasn't the result that I wanted. But, man, hey, it's not about what I want. And he put on a great performance. And, man, shout out to him. And I would really like to see if he's going to fight Nate Diaz going forward. I think that would be a crazy matchup. And I think it's something that's been up in the works for quite some time. And I know Dana White is mad as a mother sucker right now about the fact that Jake Paul just took out one of his most prized fighters. But, hey, it is what it is, man. Square business. So with that being said, I'm going to turn the comment section on. And I'll give you guys a few moments if you have anything pertaining to the topic that you want to say. And if you would like me to extend this episode, talk about whatever you want, I need to see 500 roses in the next 45 seconds. Otherwise, I'm going to conclude this episode and get on with my very next one, man. If I could turn it on. Okay, the comment section is back on, so I will wait about 30 seconds. Make sure you guys go subscribe to the Monkey and King YouTube channel. Make sure you tap the follow and the bell button on here if you haven't already. Make sure you hit my Cash App. Yeah, make sure you do all of that, man. And to the new people, tap that follow and that bell button. Thoughts on Deji versus Mayweather? I'll do that on the next. That'll be the next episode. I'm gonna do that on the next episode. So I'm gonna wait about 15 more seconds and we'll see how this turns out. Bet. Yep. Okay, and with that being said, I hope you live as long as you want and never want as long as you live. I'll be right back. Peace.